We had like this little like wolf pack going on at the beginning. It was like us, Krewella, and Blau, and all three of us were inseparable. We'd always be like in the same cities, be doing like the same tours from like 2012, 2015. So I had landed and I had like a slew of texts being like, yo bro, Grammys, congrats Grammys. I went on the Grammys website and geez, there was our remix, and I think like the one that really like hit it home and solidified us in the online sphere was our remix of Crave You. Jaws brought Crank That Up, he also brought us up, and we were fortunate enough to meet Crank That back then. Christian and I are like, once we met each other, we knew we were gonna be pretty much soulmates. There was like an identity crisis for Adventure Club in like 2014, 2015.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here with Leighton of Adventure Club.
What's going on, guys? We're on this very steep incline.
Exactly, we're on this very steep incline.
You should call me early in the morning.
Done.
I'm not prepared for this. I don't have the right attire.
And now we're hiking in Hollywood.
I feel very tricked. I feel like I'm being judged on my fitness levels here. It's not fair.
So, were you born inside Montreal as well, or like a small city outside?
No, so I was born in Montreal. I was born in the Montreal General Hospital, born and raised. When I grew up with my grandparents in this little town called Valleyfield.
Okay.
And then at around, I think I was about 4 years old, and when I moved back in with my parents, we moved into the suburbs, and that's where I spent my childhood.
Well, what do your parents do?
So my mom, she's a hairdresser. And my dad worked for a paper company. Oh,
do you think you got your creative side from your mom then?
From both sides actually.
Yeah?
Both sides, because my mom's the one who kind of pushed me to start playing piano. My grandmother had a grand piano, so I'd always be practicing on there. They enrolled me in lessons. And my dad's very, very, very creative. He just like does it on the side. He's got a creative mind. He like writes poetry. He still writes music.
What kind of music were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
Mom, mostly classical. She like really put me onto a lot of nocturnes from my boy Chopin. And my dad, he listened to a lot of like Celtic music, bagpipe music, stuff like that. A lot of traditional folk Canadian music and Caribbean music. He's from the islands. Okay.
So how did you go from listening to like classical and like Caribbean music to more of the rock?
It was a gradual transition. I think like, I really think it was like my peers at school, we kind of developed a taste for, I think we started with like bands like Everclear, and then we slowly transitioned to like the new metal phase, like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and then eventually we got into like stuff like Arch Enemy, which led me to want to learn how to play guitar. We formed a band, and I think our band started right around the time where like Warped Tour and like that whole emo scene was like booming, and I think we just went with it there.
How do you describe your personality back then growing up?
Definitely I was pretty reserved. I grew up like I don't want to like be rude or anything, but I was definitely at weight issues. So I think that kind of like made me a bit more reserved in certain social situations or circles. So I was like I was a pretty awkward teenager.
Did you know from the onset that you would make music your career?
That I did actually. Whether it was with like our band or with like something like Adventure Club, being like and doing anything in regards to music is something that I knew I would do.
Back then, were you like putting up ads to find someone for your band?
This is crazy, by the way. This incline, no one can really see this incline. I'm trying not to show that I'm struggling, but
no, you're doing such a good job. Listen. Were you putting up some ads to find people for your band, and that's how you found Christian?
Actually, yeah. Good call. So I made, with the help of one of my mutual friends, I made a bunch of like little tour flyers. I put those like little stickies with the phone number, and I was like, yo, I'm looking for a guitarist, a drummer. At the time, I was also looking for a screamer, and me and her, we put them in all the different high schools, and Christian responded to the ad, and he came out. He like tried out for the band. There's like. And we've pretty much been musicians together ever since in like various projects.
What was that band name originally, the one that you recruited him for?
That is confidential, and it will be redacted if you look at it online.
So you have music out still from
There
that?
is music out.
Damn, what does it, so I guess it just sounds like rock or what?
It's pop punk. I mean, we put our stuff out on MySpace with pure volume. I'm sure if like you really wanted to search for it and find it, you could. But I'll let everyone out there Google it for themselves. It does have, okay, so the band name has 3 initials, or it's an acronym of three. It has 3 acronyms, and 2 of them are AC. That's all it's on.
Oh, okay. And then what happened to, so the band is dismantled, or?
Yeah, more or less. So like that band dismantled, and then Christian and I started going towards like different career paths. We still made music, but it wasn't like the full-time focus anymore. I started working for a record label called Turbo Recordings, which is Tiga's record label in Montreal. They have like DJs like Proxy, Boys Noise, Chromeo. And that was like my first introduction to like the electronic music world scene. Electronic music world, yeah. From there I brought that all to Christian, and then we said, why don't we just take this super cool vibe and apply it to bands that we know, like Brand New, Thrice, Bring Me the Horizon. And I think like that crossover at the time was something unique and resonated with people online.
How many years ago was this?
I think we put out our Daisy remix 5-6 years ago. I know we started touring in 2012.
So how did the Daisy remix got the initial attention? Did you already put that on SoundCloud, or was this back in? This is not MySpace. This is SoundCloud.
So this is like right when SoundCloud I think started popping off. Right when like that was like the main platform people started really using for music. So we were fortunate enough to like also get that like wave of listeners that was coming onto SoundCloud. We had no expectations for it. We just kind of put it up on SoundCloud, sent it out to the few blogs that we had like hustled and made connections with. And I think overnight we were really like big on like seeing like where it would rank on Hype M. I think overnight it had like garnered 400 plays, which was monumental for us. We were like, yo, this is crazy. And then it also hit like #1 on Hype M, which was a completely huge deal for us. It wasn't like it was definitely like a big moment for us.
And did I read this correctly that you were studying finance and accounting at McGill?
I was doing a finance and accounting double major at McGill.
What made you want to study that? Because you said you wanted to have a career in music.
There was a part of me, and I'm probably not right with this line of thinking, but I didn't want to like study the mythology too much. I didn't want to like ruin the creativity for me. I still like having like a brain that doesn't fit or like think inside the box too much, and I knew that like accounting and finance are like, it's like a path that like I didn't want to be like an accountant or like an investment banker, but I knew it's like a good life skill to have to like be financially responsible. And then like I grew up playing like piano for like 10 years. I went to school for it. I have a degree in it from McGill, and I wanted to keep music as like my passion on the side.
And then were your parents chill with you doing music?
They were chill with it. They always supported it. It was only when like I dropped out of McGill, I was just like, hey, we're going on tour. Big Gigantic had decided to let us open up support on their tour in 2012. And I said, Mom, Dad, we're taking this tour. Like, there's no other alternative. They were like, they questioned it at first, but I think after we got back and they saw like the shows and like how people responded and how like it was definitely going to be a viable career path at that point, that they just had to kind of like support it.
Did you already
super
have
thankful for that.
Team at that point?
We had the beginnings of a team. We've always had our manager, Robbie. As far as like the other moving pieces, that was still yet to be seen.
And what do you think gave you the next momentum?
So we released a couple more songs after Daisy, and I think like the one that really like hit it home and solidified us in the online sphere was our remix of Crave You.
Yeah, actually with that, did you ever think that you were getting too pigeonholed into doing all these remixes? And that you were not known as like an original artist, because it was like these remixes were the ones that were blowing you guys up initially.
So I kind of see it two ways. Like I feel like our remixes they're different enough from the originals that if you're listening and it's the first time you hear it, you might think it's the original, because we really just like to reimagine the vocal. So a lot of people will just be like Adventure Club Cravey or like Adventure Club Lullabies when like they are remixes. So no, I don't think it pigeonholed us too much. It definitely put us in like the melodic dubstep genre, which we still love making. But I mean, as musicians, we like pushing our boundaries and exploring different creative territories.
What was your reaction when you were nominated for a Grammy?
So we had just landed for we'd taken a red-eye flight, and we had just landed home, and like our agent and manager have this history of like playing, I don't want to say cruel, but they're definitely like they're out there pranks. So I had landed, and I had like a slew of texts being like, yo bro, Grammys, congrats Grammys, and like there's no warning. What, like you don't like get a pre-nomination letter or anything like that. So I looked at Christian, I was like, look at these jokers, you know, like we're not gonna bite for this. And then just for fun, I went on the Grammys website, and geez, there was our remix for Kalani.
Yeah.
The song on the cover was nominated for a Grammy.
Insane.
And Christian and I, man, we just looked at each other. We didn't care about the seatbelt sight being on. We didn't care about the airplane still being taxed. We just got up. I think like we both shed a little tear. Got up, gave each other like the biggest bear hugs. Obviously got in trouble big time by the flight attendant. It was really something. Once we got off the flight, we celebrated some more.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, like as a musician, like that's something you aspire to be just even nominated for. Recognized for your work.
Being in dance music for so long, do you ever get, I don't want to say like anxiety, but like to stay relevant and to be on top of it? Is that something that crosses your mind?
No, not really. Like if you look at our release patterns, we're not like solely focused on like putting out song after song after song just to like stay too relevant. We really do work at our own pace. Our fans accept us for it. I think we have a couple songs that have longevity. So yeah, we like to really take our time with our music and make sure that we put as much soul as we can. We just don't like writing if our full like mind and heart isn't into the song. So if we're not like in like the writing mode, we usually just kind of wait until it comes.
Actually, what about Christian's personality made you want to be in a duo with him?
I've been like Christian and I are like, once we met each other, we knew we were gonna be pretty much soulmates. We don't argue at all. Like we have like similar tastes and everything. It's super easy. Like I'll be like, we should do this, and right when like he's about to like execute something in a song, right when I say that, he's already like mid executing it. So I mean, from day one, we were like, just by playing guitars, we knew we had like similar styles of playing. It's like really like we're so fortunate to have found each other. Christian's got layers. If you aren't like inside his like little personal circle, you could be a bit reserved. But like once you like break that little, it's not even that big. It's like saran wrap, and once you get past that, he's like the goofiest, funniest, most kind-loving dude.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges as Adventure Club?
I think at one point it was like we had an issue with like our own identity. We were trying to be too many things at once. So we come up in the melodic dub area, but then we both like fell in love with just house music. And I think there was a bit of a disconnect between like what we were putting out and like what we were actually like letting our fans listen to us during live sets. And there was like, I have to admit, like there's definitely like an identity crisis for Adventure Club in like the 2014, 2015 area. But now like we love the music we make, we play the music we make. We've like truly found ourselves in that regard.
How about with branding? Like how has that been such a central part? Because I feel like you guys have really strong branding. Is that something that you actively think about?
Branding was something we are currently still thinking about, but it's something that like at the beginning was super important to us. So at the beginning we only had the intention to make super heavy electronic music, like complete grime. And we wanted our branding to just be the complete opposite. We wanted to be like this bubblegum, super like playful. I mean, we're called Adventure Club, so it'd be weird to have like this like mysterious, ominous branding. We just like took full advantage of the name and gave it these bright colors. And then I think one of us had the idea to just incorporate. We're big superhero fans, so one of us had the idea to incorporate that into it. Fans seem to just really get behind it. And I mean, that's been it for us.
And also, like, on the sidelines, you've been investing into like what, bottle service, apps, real estate.
Yeah, so I dabble with a lot of like angel investing. I like helping people, or like helping fund people who have like bright ideas, who I know can take a project off the ground. I like to invest in projects maybe like once or twice a year. A lot of them have done really well. I don't know if I should name the companies, but yeah, that's something that I do like to do.
When did you
I
start?
really like to give back to the Montreal community. So yeah, we have a club out there.
Like jointly, you two?
No, just me.
Okay.
Invested in another music company called Lander. What they do is they do automated mastering. They actually just got in Fast World top 10 most innovative companies of 2019, which I'm super proud of.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when did you start doing all this?
As soon as I could, as soon as I was able to. I think maybe like year 1 or 2 into Adventure Club. I just like keep my eyes peeled for like people who have like super cool ideas, people who are able to execute.
How would you say your music has changed compared to the early songs you guys made?
I think like the Adventure Club essence, like all our like the original soul is in every song, but with like time and experience and obviously knowledge, we've learned how to like produce a bit differently. Our process changes just a bit. The people we work with change, and obviously our tastes change. So for something like Red Blue, it was a project that we wanted to just make half like this mellower side of what we were into at the time, and then half of it was more of the heavy stuff. And the stuff we have coming out now, like our collab with Krewella and Crank That, is a bit more on the I think it's a bit more on the poppy side, but it still has a lot of elements of Adventure Club.
Actually, how did you meet Krewella and Crank That?
Krewella, we've been friends for literally forever, since like when we started, they started. And there was like we had like this little like wolf pack going on at the beginning. It was like us, Krewella and Blau, and all three of us were inseparable. We'd always be like in the same cities, be doing like the same tours from like 2012, 2015, and like I'm so happy all three of us have like taken our careers to this level, and now we're able to like touch so many people this way.
And then with Crank That?
Crank That, I got onto his music, I want to say like 2 years ago, and thankfully we finally met in person. Because like it's a lot of these relationships are built online. When you finally meet the person, you're like, it feels good. We met at Ultra during I think Ultra last year during Jaws' set. Jaws brought Crank That up. He also brought us up, and we were fortunate enough to meet Crank That back then. We were like, yo bro, let's get a collab going, and the rest wrote itself. Going downhill, almost just as hard as going uphill.
I guess on the knees.
On the knees, yeah.
What was the inspiration behind Make Damn Sure?
That was just straight up like, so Modern Machines hit us up, and they're like, we should really like do something to pay tribute to like the music that we grew up on, and Taking Back Sunday was pretty much the perfect act for that. It's a band that we've admired for a long time. It's a band that we like are inspired by, and Make Damn Sure was just the I think it's like this sing-along anthem of our teenage years. Like it's the number one, like we'd be driving around singing along to it, be at home singing along to it. It just seemed like the perfect track to pay homage to a period or band that we love.
And are you gonna put out an extended project this year?
Yes. So like we had mentioned, Next Life with Krewella is coming out within the next couple of weeks. There'll be another single after that, and then we're gonna have like kind of like two different avenues that we're gonna go by. We're gonna go down like the heavier avenue where we make like the heavier stuff, and like the other avenue is gonna be like melodic dubstep, and stay really true to the AC classic sound. That's
interesting. Have you ever thought about starting a separate project?
Yes, I have actually. I can't disclose too much, but like it's literally right on the horizon, and I think by the end of the month you'll be hearing a lot more about it. Yeah. Very excited about it.
Was that something that you've been thinking about for a while? Must have been years. I mean, because you were between these two identities you were saying before.
Yeah, exactly. So this project will really enable like the music that we want to put out, or that I want to put out, to be put out under a different umbrella. with no like stigma attached to it. There's no like, hey, you put this song out, but it sounds nothing like what you usually put out. There's nothing attached to it.
And you've always been into the sober lifestyle, right?
Yeah, more, no, I can't even. So like when I was younger, I grew up straight edge. And then going on tour, you know, at a show, I'd have a drink or two. And then like 2 years in, we'd like be finishing bottles, and like you normalize yourself to the process because everyone's doing it. And then about like, I want to say halfway into our touring career, it's just like it wasn't doing my mind any good. It wasn't doing like my body any good. I was sluggish. I didn't feel 100%. So I just stopped drinking. I stopped putting stimulants in my body, and it's been like 3.5 years.
Wow.
And it just makes touring a lot easier. Like, you're not hopping on a 6 a.m. flight hungover. You're not like, you're sound of mind, and you're able to like make rational decisions on the road, and it's just a lot easier.
How would you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
I've like mellowed out on like my stubbornness. I've learned that like not everything is as black and white as I thought it was when I was younger. There's no like, when I was super young, I was like, okay, like you gotta eat this way. It's gotta be like super organic, and like I had like super like strict ideas of what I thought. And as I grew older, I realized that like not one size fits all for everybody. Like certain people have certain different tastes. Certain things work for people, certain things don't work for people. So I've learned to be a little less preachy, a little bit more easygoing. And like thankfully I've been able to like experience so many different aspects of the world, so many different cultures. My eyes have been open to a lot of cool things. I think I just appreciate life so much now. I don't take anything for granted.
Yeah. What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me?
Like the superhero stance right here.
It's like, it doesn't, like I don't want to like box it in like any relationship status. It's just anything that I have unconditional, unrequited respect for. With my personality type, like I'm able to like differentiate between just like, I like this at the second, it's like more of a lust thing, versus something that I can like, I truly feel on a spiritual level. And so like the second category is what I define as love. It might not be like instantaneous, but it's something that like once it's in my heart and mind, it's something that'll never leave me, no matter what.
Last question, what do you want Adventure Club to be remembered for?
Just raw emotion, like something that you listen to like when you're feeling down, something you can listen to when you're feeling great, just something that connects, like music that connects you on an emotional level. That's all I really want. That's all, I think that's all any artist really want, is to have their music connect with other people. Could be one, could be millions, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.